This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video, I'm going to analyze the Pick 6 carryover at Santa Anita Park on Friday, February 27th. And the Pick 6 carryover amount, $198,741. That's a two-day Pick 6 carryover, and the pool is expected to exceed over $1 million. So we'll see if they can get to that amount. Now, last Friday, they had a Pick 6 carryover, and I covered that as well. Ended up with 5 out of 6 on my budget, $16 ticket. And I did one other Pick 6 carryover earlier in the meet at Santa Anita. Also on a $16 ticket, I ended up with 4 out of 6. So I had 4 out of 6, then 5 out of 6. So let's see if we can get 6 out of 6 on Friday. And the Pick 6 begins with the fourth race. And the past performance data in this video provided by today'sracingdigest.com. And if you need past performances for Santa Anita for this Pick 6 carryover, you can find them at today'sracingdigest.com. Their most popular products, the Complete Digest, that's the product they're going to be using in this video. And you can get that product at their website. And I'll include a link to that product in the video description below if you're interested in the Complete Digest. We'll begin with the fourth race, the opening leg of the Pick 6, $20,000 maiden claiming event for California breds, 1 mile on the main track. And this is a speed-friendly distance with 21 races. Looking at the track profile, 33% wins for front runners. Pressers win 57% of the time. Mid-pack runners, 9.5% wins. Rear runners, 0% wins. So you want a horse that has speed. And we have a 5-horse field in here, and we're going to look at the speed and pace forecasts. And that is the Today's Racing Digest handicappers projecting the numbers that the horses are going to earn in today's race. And Oswald has the best fire number. He's number 5. And then he also has the best CPR. And those speed and pace forecasts, the best numbers are highlighted in yellow. And then Bossing Mo has the best fast fig at a 106. So the fire number is speed throughout a race. The CPR is the comprehensive performance rating, which takes into account pace, final time, and closing fraction. The fast fig, now that is a number that is a speed rating and a class rating all rolled into one. And the final time rating is a Beyer speed figure type number. So these are lightly raced horses, and we'll see how they do at this 1 mile distance. And I think 3 horses can win this race. Bandolero, number 1, he's a contender in here. And number 2, Bossing Mo, and then number 5, Oswald. Now Bandolero is 7-5 morning line. Bossing Mo is 3-1. Oswald is 5-2. And Oswald's coming in from Turf Paradise. So we'll see if he can be competitive against this group. And Bandolero for trainer Steve Knapp, moving to the Steve Knapp barn, stretching out in distance, inside post here. He did run at longer distances before. He was 4th in a 1 mile race at Los Alamitos race course in December. And then last time in a sprint at Santa Anita, he was 7th. He does fit with this group. He was running in maiden special weight, state bred company, maiden claiming $50,000 last time. Now he's down to a $20,000 event. So he does fit with these. Bossing Mo, he's one that is stretching out in distance. He ran well in his sprint debut. $50,000 maiden claimer, getting a 104 final time rating, then a turf sprint last time. He ended up finishing unplaced. So now he's dropping in class and stretching out and returning to dirt. And then Oswald, he's one that did run 2nd in a 1 mile race at Turf Paradise last time, dropping into the maiden claiming $20,000 level, getting a 95 final time rating. So those 3 horses look like the most likely winners in the first leg. And in the 5th race, we have a 1 mile turf race, allowance optional claiming event for state breds, 1 mile on turf. And typically, horses that at least have decent speed up to the mid-pack runners do well. The rear runners struggle. So 34 races at the distance, 26% wins for front runners, 26% for pressers, mid-pack runners winning 41% of the time, then rear runners just 5.9% wins. So you probably don't want a deep closer. Looking at the fire number, 2 horses have the best number. Number 1, Quantum Energy, and then number 6, Orange Thunder. For the CPR, Orange Thunder has the best number. The fast fig goes to Quantum Energy and Mayacama, and then Orange Thunder with the best of final time rating as well. So this race looks competitive. Quantum Energy, he's one that does fit, or she looks like could run a quality race in here. But the problem is this one hasn't won a race in a long time. So she's one that likes to hit the board, and she has that rear running style. As I said, rear runners only winning 5.9% of the time. So she looks more likely to hit the board. Now Mayacama has a front running style. That one should be forwardly placed, and I expect that one to run a good race in here. Orange Thunder, we'll have to see how that one can do in this event. Orange Thunder will probably be a bit of a price in this event. for the morning. Oh, that one actually scratched. So looking at the Today's Racing Digest information, Orange Thunder has scratched out of this race. So that one's out. And some other contenders, She's a Joker. For that one, a 7-year-old mare, another one that likes to hit the board, so she could be under. Green Zone, number 9, lightly raced, switched to turf and won last time. That one has some front running speed. Number 11, Just a Kiss, wasn't also eligible, but that one does get in with the scratch of Orange Thunder. So Just a Kiss is one that maybe could make some noise in this race if she can work out a trip from an outer post. But looking overall at Mayacama, I think the most likely winner, Jeff Mullins with Jaramillo, 2-for-2 jockey trainer team. Juan Hernandez has been riding this one. He's not riding on this card. And this horse was part of the Exacta in 5 of her last 6 starts. And she won a couple of those races, including a 1-mile run at Los Alamitos. That was on the main track. And she did win a 1-mile turf race at Del Mar last year. And she has some decent final time ratings, a 125 final time rating in that Del Mar win, a 122 at Los Al, a 116 last time. So being up on the pace with an inner post, I think Mayacama looks like a solid contender in this event. So we'll move on to the 6th race, $10,000 claiming event, non-winners, 3 lifetime, 5.5 furlongs on the main track. This race is for fillies and mares, and front runners and pressers do best at this 5.5 furlong distance. And we have a 6-horse field in here. Multiple horses can be forwardly placed. Tiger, Fire, probably the speediest of all of them. And Toulouse, Detrac, number 5. That one can show speed. Eltonsingsanother, another one that can be forwardly placed in here. So maybe a horse just off the pace could end up doing well. But the Fire number goes to Coralgableskaylin, number 1. And then the CPR goes to Tiger Fire. And then the Fast Fig, Maniae, number 4, has the Fast Fig and the final time rating and the class ratings as well. So Maniae, number 4, could end up being the one to beat in here. That one's in decent enough form, except last time ended up finishing 5th, but that was an allowance optional claiming event at 6 furlongs. And that one did get a 107 final time rating that day. But she's run some quality races that put her in the mix. And she had a 111 final time rating when she was 2nd at Los Al a few starts back at the 5.5 furlong distance. So Maniae is one that I think is probably the horse to beat. Numbers in the race 7, that is optional claiming $80,000 event, 6 furlongs on the turf course. In this distance plays fair for front runners, pressers, and mid-pack runners. Rear runners just winning 16%, so they don't win as much, but they do better at this distance than some of the other distances that we mentioned earlier on the card. And Son of a Birch gets a 95 Fire number, the best number. Nesso's Lasthurrah with a 140 CPR. And then Son of a Birch also has the Fast Fig and the final time rating, but that one is a rear runner, so gonna need some help up front to set up that late charge. So Nesso's Lasthurrah is a contender. Proof He Rides, another one that has a good record with some pressing speed. That one can be used in here. Cuban Confusion always seems to finish in the top 3. So that one's interesting. FOMO Joe's a first-time gelding, so we'll see how that one does off of a layoff. So this one looks like a competitive heat. And now we will move on to the 8th race. And the 8th race, a maiden special weight event, 1 mile on the main track. And I mentioned already that speed does well at this 1 mile distance. We'll have to see how this one shakes out. We do have some horses stretching out in distance like Winston Avenue. But number 1, Latitude, switching back to the main track. Fausto has the best Fire number in CPR, and then Latitude has the best Fast Fig and final time rating. And Winston Ave is interesting off of his debut for Bob Baffert. One of 2 runners for Baffert in here. Winston Ave had a 128 final time rating in his debut, and then second time out, he disappointed from the inside post, didn't have the best trip, stretching out after 2 sprints. And Florent Giroux gets aboard 3 for 5 with Baffert. And then Baffert's other horse, Cherokee Nation, Jaramillo gets aboard this one. And this horse was in stakes races twice, and he's still a maiden, and he did finish 2nd in a couple of maiden races. A couple starts back in January, he was ended up rallying to finish 2nd, getting a 119 final time rating, and then missing by a nose at Santa Anita October 13th. So his 2 best races were 1 mile at Santa Anita in the maiden ranks, and he was a close 2nd both times. So he looks like a solid contender. So Baffert might have this one surrounded. Then the 9th race, $50,000 maiden claiming event, 1 mile on the turf course. And this one is for 3-year-olds. And the best numbers across the board go to number 4, Biggie, Biggie, Biggie. He has the best fire number with an 86, the CPR 127, the fast fig a 116, and then the final time rating a 128. And he finished up well last time, the fastest in the stretch. That's an angle that the digest will show. The closers, the fastest in the stretch in recent races at or near this distance. And Biggie, Biggie, Biggie in his last race finished up in 23.6 seconds. Clearly the best finisher in this race. And he at least has enough positional speed to keep the leaders in his sights. So I can see him sitting in mid-pack in here and getting the job done. Now, last time out, he ended up dropping into this maiden claiming $50,000 level 1 mile race. And I liked him that day on October 30th. And he was the favorite, and he did finish second. And that's where he had that decent finishing kick there. So I think this time, his second start at the maiden claiming $50,000 level, he could end up winning this event. So we'll roll back through and I'll give out my $16 ticket, this budget ticket. Let's see if we can hit this pick 6 on just a $16 ticket. It's going to be a big pool. And for the fourth race, I said I had it down to 3, the 1, the 2, and the 5, but I'm not going to use the Turf Paradise horse. Typically, the Turf Paradise horses, maybe they're not quite classing up. We're going to see where that one does fit. I'm going to go with the 1 Bandolero and the 3, and the 1 Bandolero and the 2 Bossing Mo as my 2 picks in race 4. So we'll just use the 1 and 2 in race 4. In the 5th race, I'm going to take a shot at a single. I'm going to go with the 2 Mayacama. That one did have good class ratings, and then also that fast big of a 114 has that decent speed that fits the track profile. Front runners and pressers do well at this distance. With an inner post, I can see Mayacama working out a good trip, and that one will be a single for me in race 5. And now race 6. Race 6 was that claiming a dirt sprint at 5.5 furlongs, and I said speed did well. And I have a speed horse and then a horse that can strike from mid-pack. So Tiger Fire looks like the best speed horse, number 3, and Maniae, number 4, from mid-pack, trying to run that one down. So the 3 and 4 will be the 2 horses I use in race 6. Race 7, that one is that turf sprint at 6 furlongs that we talked about, and Proof He Rides, number 2. That one I will like to use in this race. And then Cuban Confusion, that very consistent horse coming off of a layoff, always seems to finish in there. And Proof He Rides has a pressing style, Cuban Confusion as well. So they should get to jump on the 10 horse that I mentioned had good numbers in here, Son of a Birch. So I will pick the 2, Proof He Rides, and the 6, Cuban Confusion, and hope that one of those horses can get the jump on the closers and win this event. And then in the 8th race, I think it comes down to the 2 Baffert horses, the 2 Winston Ave and the 3 Cherokee Nation. And I'm going to single the 2 Winston Ave. I just think maybe he has a bit more upside. He's stretching out after 2 sprints, and he earned that good rating of a 128 in his debut. Ran so well that day, and then didn't duplicate it from the inside post second time out. Seems to be training well for this, and Giroux is 3 for 5 with this barn. And Winston Ave, I'll try to single him. And if we're still alive in the 9th race, I'm going to take a single there as well. Number 4, Biggie, Biggie, Biggie. That one had the best numbers overall. And I'm hoping that he's going to be able to graduate and pick up his diploma in this event. So that $16, $2 pick 6 ticket for the carryover pool for Friday, February 27th. Race 4, I'm going to use the 1 and 2. Race 5, I'm going to use the 2. Race 6, the 3 and 4. Race 7, the 2 and 6. Race 8, single the 2. And then race 9, single the 4. $16 budget ticket. Let's see if we can get the job done and pull off this pick 6 on Friday, February 27th. And this week I'm doing full cards at Santa Anita each day that they run. Now each day Santa Anita runs, I cover full cards each day Santa Anita runs. And I'm doing a bonus full card this week for Fountain of Youth Stakes Day at Gulfstream Park. 14 race program. I'm covering a full card for that entire program as well. And if you're interested in my full cards, you can find them at todaysracingdigest.com on my handicappers page at that website, or at my personal website, therunawayhorse.com, on my shop page. And don't forget to like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. Till I see you next time. Good luck at the races.